Hey guys, I am back with you today. Happy April 18th. I am going to talk to you guys about intuition today. And I want to help give you kind of like a bit of a guidance to help you along. Now, my videos, I don't edit them. I literally record them and I post them. I do that because you know what? I mean, even the bloopers, if you will, it's me. It's who I am. You know, if I mispronounce something or I missay something, like I usually correct myself in the meantime. And so I do that just because I want to be real. I just want to put it out there. I'm not trying to like be all fancy for everybody here. I mean, come on, go back and watch my other videos. So we're going to be talking about intuition today, and I'm going to be covering a lot of things. This might be a little bit longer of a video because I want to cover a few things. What we need to understand is that our intuition, you know, we're usually told to trust your intuition, you know, and it's usually people will say, trust your intuition, and they kind of touch their heart. But, you know, honestly, our intuition is spoken to us through our entire body. Okay. You know, a lot of times we feel it, you know, in our head, in our chest, or in our stomach area. But in reality, it affects our entire body. So to give you a little bit of a breakdown of the body in general, and this is, I've been learning all of this myself as of recent. We have 7 chakras in our body, okay? And when these chakras are out of balance, it affects every aspect of our life, our relationships, our decision making, our everything. It affects everything. You know, it's what causes us anxiety. You know, it literally stems from those different things because of the things that we allow and or we are not in tune with. So I'm going to tell you what these 7 chakras are just real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of the different, you know, aspects of our body and the breakdown. I said in a video previously that our right side of our body is our masculine energy and our left side of our body is our feminine energy. So the masculine side is our action, our moving forward, and the feminine is more receiving. It's more the gentle side. This is more the assertive. This is more the gentle receiving. So we all, whether you're male or female, we all carry both aspects. Now, a lot of times it's unbalanced. Obviously, men have more of a masculine and the females have more of a feminine, but both sexes have both of them and they need to be balanced, okay? I myself have had to struggle with my masculine side because I had to be so strong and I had to protect myself so much of my life that my masculine side was very, very dominant for a long time. And it's still very difficult, but I'm learning to be more aware of it. And I'm trying to learn how to soften myself more and more as I move forward. But believe me, my masculine side is there for a reason, okay? I am supposed to be a strong voice, and that's part of my masculine side and in my communication as well. So we're going to start with the chakras, and they start at the base of the spine, okay? The base of the spine is called your root chakra. The color that is correlated with it is red. It is your foundation. It is where you feel safe. It is how you relate with the world. And they tell you to ground yourself. That's what it's talking about. You need to feel safe. A lot of times they'll tell you to go and walk barefoot on the ground to kind of, you know, connect yourself with the world around you. Your next one is your sacral. It's right here. It's below your belly button. The color that goes with it is orange. So this is your creative, your pleasure center. It's where your creativeness, it's where you connect, sensually, your relationships. That's where that is. So right above your belly button is your solar. I'm saying the color for that is yellow. This is where your self-confidence, your self-worth, your, who you are, your value, your confidence. That's where this comes from. And then obviously we have our heart chakra. This one can be green, sometimes pink. And this is the one that connects your top 3 chakras with your bottom 3 chakras. So if your heart is off, you are automatically going to be unbalanced. So if you have unhealed traumas or you have unhealed hurts, you are going to be imbalanced regardless, okay? It doesn't matter how stable you are financially. It doesn't matter about your relationship. If this is not right, then your spiritual side and your physical the world around you, how you relate with the world, it's going to be off, guys. The next one is your throat chakra. This is typically blue, okay? It is your communication, speaking your truth, being able to communicate clearly with those around you, okay? Then we have the third eye, this one, and it's how we see the world through our spiritual eye, okay? That is indigo purple type color, okay? And this is how we see the world. You know, when God says, you know, see the world through my eyes, that's what he's talking about. And then we have our crown chakra up here, and it's white and or I believe they said violet. So, but I've always related it to white. So then this is how you connect with God, okay? So I have learned how to heal my heart, which means that is why I have started opening up spiritually as much as I have. And then also I'm balancing out everything. So you'll notice that when you have stomach issues, like when you have anxiety and you feel it in your stomach, a lot of that has to do with your confidence and your self-worth. You know, sometimes if you have lower abdominal or you have, you know, issues down in the genitalia area, it's because you have problems with your relationships. And it's because you haven't dealt with the patterns or the traumas or the different things that you've dealt with, okay? So that's just kind of a brief rundown. Why do I tell you these things? Because when I explain to you how the intuition works and how it speaks to you, we will get different sensations all over our body, whether it's goosebumps on your right side or your left side, whether it's ringing in your ears, whether it's a tingling on the top of your head, whether it's a sharp pain or whatnot, when there can be no other, you know, explanation for it. You're like, why does this hurt? Well, maybe you should stop and start thinking about what's going on in your life and what's unbalanced or what truth you haven't been speaking. Why do you keep getting throat infections? Why do you keep getting sinus infections? Why do you keep getting, you know, why are there issues with your lungs, your respiration, your respiratory system? Like, you know, when you start thinking about those things, if these are things that continually happen in your life, it's probably because you have imbalance in your life in one or multiple areas, okay? So with that being said, when we go and we are not truly dealing with our emotional issues, you know, they'll say you're imbalanced, you're bipolar, or you're ADHD, or you're this, or you're that. Now, I'm not telling you, I'm not giving medical advice, but what I will say is this: I think too many times they will prescribe you medication, and instead of dealing with the root issue that's going to cause it to go away without anything else, they give you medication to cover it up. And then what do? You cover it up, and then it pops out somewhere else. Because let me tell you something, when you have roots that are down in that soil, you can try to, you know, cut this branch off, but it's going to pop up somewhere else. Okay, you're not going to get rid of it until you get rid of the roots. You know those, oh my gosh, have you guys seen those wandering Jews? They're purples. They're out in the, you see them all over the place. And once you get like one or two of them, they like spread like wildfire. And unless you go like dig down like 1.5 feet and you get all the roots out, they're going to come back. That's the same thing that happens with emotional, you know, turmoil in our life. If we don't deal with the root issue that's causing it, it's going to keep popping back up in our lives. Now we can chop off the top of it and hey, it looks good for a while, but guess what? A week later, it's back. So our intuition speaks to us all over our entire bodies, okay? Too many times though, we are distracted. And I keep saying this, guys. I keep talking about our connection with God. We are so distracted by the external world, by social media, by, politics, economics, comparing ourselves to other people, not being transparent, hiding, lying, this, that, or the other, living in the toxic patterns that we ourselves were, we were born into, or we learned as younger children. Now, you can't change what happened to you as a child, okay? But it is still your responsibility to change now, okay? You can't change other people, okay? You can distance yourself from them if you feel like the toxicity that they're bringing, you have to remove yourself from it so that you can heal. And sometimes some of those people need to stay out of your life. Now, love is not accepting everything and allowing everything and just being the doormat for everybody. No, love is also creating boundaries and saying, hey, I will let you be around me, but you have to respect these boundaries. Remember, I was talking yesterday about energy. I have to protect my energy. And if you continually step over my boundaries, I can't have you near me, okay? Ask me how I know. I've had to distance myself from many, many people in my life. So your intuition, when you are presented with different things, you know, a lot of times we respond out of fear. Okay, your intuition is a quiet, small voice on the inside, and it nudges you in which way you should go, and it'll tell you whether or not you can trust it or not. But once again, because of those past traumas or because of those past situations that are unhealed, a lot of times, instead of listening to our intuition, we respond out of fear, out of anxiety, out of these emotions that we do not have control over because we haven't healed. So if that is happening, I urge you to start doing the inner work, okay? It is your responsibility. Nobody is going to fix you. You have to fix yourself, okay? I'm going to go over this many, many, many times. It's going to be one of my main points. Pay attention, heal yourself. Because once you start doing that, you're going to start noticing that the chaos that's been around you this whole time starts to settle. Those toxic people start moving away. And you start becoming calm and peaceful within yourself. It's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. So it's a small, quiet voice. You know, I've shared my story about when I was first called by God when I was 16. And I was sitting out on a beach all by myself, and I heard a voice in my head go get your Bible. You can go watch the video. I have it up. I reposted it, but it's also back in one of my older videos if you want to watch it. It's a really cool story. But I heard a voice in my head. And so it was my intuition, my inner self. It was God, okay? It was Source, you know, my guides. You know, we are surrounded by guides, spirit, you know, our guardian angels, God. They're all around us all the time. And if we're so distracted by everything going on around us, we won't hear them. So we gotta calm, okay? It's in the stillness. So I was sitting there by myself and I heard the voice, okay? That was the first time it happened. And when you hear it, you know that what it is. If you're unsure and you're trying to, you know, make decisions out of all this anxiety, it's confusion. There's not clarity there. Calmness, stillness. And then, where was I going to go with that? Okay, so chakras. I already told you how it's silenced. But yeah, you know, sometimes they'll tell you your gut feeling. Like in your gut, you're like, I know that I'm supposed to go this direction. It's like an inner knowing, an inner voice. It's a sensation where you know that you know that you know. But you can't have that confidence if you aren't in tune with understanding how your intuition communicates with you. Every single person that walks this earth has the same connection and ability to be able to have this, okay? Everybody. I'm not more special than anyone else out here. I just have learned to heal myself, and I have learned to become in tune with my intuition and listen to it, okay? So I already explained that it's not emotions, you know, it's just a knowing, okay? So with that being said, I think that kind of expresses the point that I want to get across. If you are here, it is not by accident. You are here because God led you here. Source led you here. He's wanting you to pay attention to learn, because we have a lot of things that are going to be coming up, and he's going to need to be in communication with you to help guide you. I'm going to be here as a guide. There's many of us that are around that are going to be here as guides for you. But do me a favor, like the video, share it if you feel like somebody else might need to hear this. You know, subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be having a lot more of this come out, guys. I'm also on Fiverr. Is it Fiverr? I also, if you want to have like a personal one-on-one coaching session with me to help you potentially identify where you might need to work on things, I could actually help guide you, you know, and I can help you with the resources. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and I'm just now starting to make it official. So if you would like to have a sit down with me, please, by all means, it's up there, it's underneath my gigs. I would love to talk to you guys one-on-one. I would love, and you know, I need to probably put some reviews up there of some people that I've helped out to kind of give a little bit of, you know, a basis for that. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I know this video was a little bit longer than what they have been, but I wanted to kind of cover all those things to kind of let you guys know what you could be paying attention to. And, you know, if it sparks interest, go do your own research. Remember, I'm going to tell you all over again, don't just take my word for it. Go do your own research. Look up these different terms. Look up these different concepts. You know, I used AI for a lot of the things, you know, to help guide me to different resources and different things. You know, AI is an amazing tool. I'm just saying, I'm not telling you which specifically one to use, but it's an amazing tool. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I might be back a little bit later. I love being able to share the knowledge and the things that I've learned because I know where it's gotten me, and the peace that I feel, it's amazing. Even in the midst of all the chaos, there's a peace. I love you guys. Mwah! And I'll talk to you soon.